your bidding and keep anybody who would threaten you in their place. Or maybe you're like Pilate. You're the one in authority who actually has the authority to shut the crowd down. The one online, the one in camp, the one when the faculty aren't present, the one who could really do it, take charge, and save the victim, and turn the crowd off. Stop the ugliness. Stop the kind of prejudice and meanness that drives the crowd, that kind of gossip, that kind of falsehood manipulated for a selfish purpose. Maybe you're the one who can say, stop it. Delete that, apologize, or I'm turning your butt again. Can you do that? Or do you think, it's just not worth it? I like being a prefect. I want to be a popular prefect. I'm not going to take a stand. Or I like being the cool fifth former. I don't want to be the one who's going to be responsible to take care of people. Sure, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do my own thing. I'm going to keep it easy. Maybe one of those. Because Pontius Pilate's your man. And he gets up there, he's the Roman governor, he has authority to stop this, and he just thinks, I'm not bothering, it's too much. It's not that he's afraid of the crowd, he isn't. He just doesn't want to kind of take it on. He wants to keep his life easy. Or maybe you're Peter. Maybe you're Jesus' friend and follower, the leader of the gang, his right hand, the one who proclaims him the Christ, and the one who kind of understands how important he is, who the minute Jesus is arrested denies him 3 times. Just denies him. I don't know. I have nothing to do with it. And Jesus looks at him. And he has the decency to feel guilty. Maybe you're not. Maybe your friends, the crowd's turned on your friend. Again, online is mainly how it usually happens these days. Or again, just gossipy, vicious stuff. And you won't stand up for your friend. You'll just sort of quietly distance yourself and let your friend suffer. Maybe that's you. What's interesting in this story is the one who actually stands up to the crowd is the good thief. It's the thief who is one of the thieves who is being crucified with Jesus, and who says, "Look, leave him alone." He says to the other thief, "When we deserve this, he doesn't. He's innocent. He tells the truth because he has nothing to lose. He doesn't have that power. He's already being crucified. He just says, look, he's innocent. This is wrong." He's the only one who tells the truth. He's the only one who can kind of pierce the falsehood of the crowd because he has nothing to lose. And sometimes you will see in your life story that will be the one who can stand up to the crowd, the one who can sort of speak the truth boldly, the one who really has nothing to lose, the one who isn't popular, the one who isn't, life doesn't come easily for that person, the one who's kind of used to suffering, who can take the pain. You can sort of stare it down and say, this just isn't right. This isn't true. You all are wrong. Maybe sometimes, and I think everybody, almost all of us, that's the power of the story. We've had those moments when we can feel a little like Jesus ourselves. When the crowd